Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Jacob. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to come up with a ton of content ideas for your affiliate marketing business so you can grow your brand, grow an audience, and then monetize it with whatever affiliate products you want to sell. Content is a really key part of that because it's how you get your message out there, it's how you get your voice out there, it's how you get more eyeballs on you and your business. And the more eyeballs you get, if you've got a sales process in place, means you can make more sales. Before we dive into that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the big red button to do that, click the bell icon so you get notified, smash the like button if you get any value from this one, and leave a question below and I'll do my best to get back to you throughout the week. It's a bit of a dreary day here on the Gold Coast. A bit overcast. The winter's actually appears to be setting in a little bit. It's not that cold by comparison to the rest of the world, but it's cold. It's cold by comparison to what we're used to. So a bit of a change of weather here. But as I said, in this one, how do you come up with content ideas? So there's a few ways that you can approach. There's a few ways you can approach content, right? At a high level, what you got to think about is when you're talking about your value-based content in particular as the first bucket, that's going to be your bread and butter. That's going to be the one that you produce the most of, because that's what builds goodwill with the audience. The simplest way to think about your value content is your audience is currently in, let's call it place A, right? And they want to get to place B, right? That's why people buy stuff, to go from A to B, to go away from a place where they currently are, where they don't want to be, to a place that they do want to be, right? Healthier, more money, happier, whatever it may be. And so your value-based content needs to help people move along that path, and then your paid stuff that you sell them should accelerate that even more. So the way to think about this in the first bucket of your value content is understanding what that shift is that your paid product provides, and then coming up with 3, 4, maybe 5 kind of core pillars of things that people really need to know, understand, be aware of, and starting to build your value content around that. So for example, for me, the 4 main pillars that I like people to understand and that I teach my students are around mindset, products and offer creation, what you're actually going to sell, conversion strategies, funnels, sales, all those kind of things to convert leads into buyers, and then traffic. They're the 4 things that I really need my audience to understand and to buy into, as they're the, in my opinion, they're the 4 core pillars of being successful with affiliate marketing. So a lot of my value-based content is around those 4 things. Above and beyond that, there's a couple of other, buckets of content that you can put out. You can put stuff out there that's just kind of sharing who you are, sharing what you're up to in your life. And while this may not deliver value, so to speak, what it's going to do is it's going to build trust and it's going to build rapport with your audience. They can see that you're a real person. They can see that that you're either like them or not like them, which is going to dictate if they're drawn to you or kind of move away from you. But putting out that content, kind of just sharing that you're a normal person, can be really helpful. The other type of content that you've got is your results type content, right? The type of content that shares proof about the product that you're selling, that shares proof about your results, students' results, other people's results, all these kind of things that really appeals to the logical part of the brain of your prospects. Beyond that, there's a couple of other things you can look to include as well. You can talk about myths and misconceptions, right? So if you want to change your audience's perspective on something, if you feel like there's a false belief in your industry, or if there's a limiting belief in your industry, you can talk about those false beliefs or those limited beliefs and give your perception on it. I did a video the other day about how a lot of the affiliate marketing industry gets sold as being the easy option, which is just a load of shit. Like, it's a real business model and it takes real work and you need to learn skills in order to do it, right? So that's me breaking down the misconception that affiliate marketing is easy. So you can sit down with a cup of tea and make a list of what are some of the misconceptions in your industry, and you can produce content around that, right? The other type of content you can produce is objection handling content. So sit down again, get your cup of tea, and write down what are the reasons that people may not buy my product. And I'm pretty sure you'll be able to pretty quickly come up with a list of 10, 20, 30. They're all content ideas, right? And when you combine all of those things together, it's a really, really powerful mix, because what it serves to do is, the first one we spoke about is value-based content. So you're helping your audience start to move from where they are to where they want to get to, right? That's going to be a really big chunk of your content, your bread and butter. You're building up the goodwill there, right? You're building up your authority, those kind of things, by coming up with those 3, 4, 5 core pillars of that journey, right? So figure out what they are for you. What are the core things that people need to understand, know about, believe, all these kind of things. What do they need to have in place? So as I was saying, mindset, offer creation, funnels / conversion, and traffic. They're the 4 things for me. So that's where I center my time around. So what are they for you? You need to figure out what they are, and then you can start to list out content ideas within each of those buckets, right? So for me, within mindset, there's a lot of different topics I can talk about. I can talk about the concept of understanding your why. I can talk about goal setting. I can talk about productivity. I can talk about blocking out, the noise that's out there in the industry, shiny object syndrome. It's such a, mindset around buying things, around not buying things. Like, there's so many areas that fall under that mindset pillar, right? So then I can sit and just build out content ideas under that bucket. Then the next one, offer creation, right? What product options are out there? How do you find the products? What are the different types of products? What you might want to sell, what you might not want to sell, right? Recurring products versus high ticket products versus launches versus all these different things. And then within that, you've also got offer creation, right? How to craft a good offer, adding support, how to come up with bonuses, when you should have bonuses, when you shouldn't have bonuses, all these kind of things. And it keeps going for each of those pillars. So that's your first one. That's your value-based content. Then we spoke about just being, personal. Like if you go on a trip, or, you can, and this is across any platform. I posted a photo on my Facebook wall of a packet of Tim Tams, which is some biscuits. Like, it's just showing people that you're a real person, and you're a human, right? You're just breaking down those barriers, right? You're not some big corporation, some big business that they don't know if they can trust. It's just showing people, I'm a real person. I've got a sense of humor. I've got the same problems as you. I've been where you want to be. All these kind of things. Just showing people that you're a real person. That's the next one. And then results as well, right? You guys will hear me talk through these videos about some of the student results of the students in the accelerator program. I try and drop stories and share stories about students that are doing really well, and it builds proof that what we teach really works in the accelerator program. There's a link in the description if you want to check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator. That's my program I run that gets people started and kicking ass with high ticket affiliate marketing. So that's the next one, is results, right? Building up that proof, those testimonials, the social proof, right? Then we spoke about misconceptions. So again, grab a cup of tea, sit and write out what are the misconceptions in your industry that you want your people to believe, right? I've got a document on my computer, and you guys are going to see more and more of these videos coming out on YouTube. Misconceptions about the affiliate marketing industry, right? And the people that I want to work with are the ones who shift their perspective on those, and they realize that there's not this magic button out there, and they realize that they need to learn things, and they realize that this is a real business, and they realize they need to get their mindset in check, and they need to learn how to craft an offer, and they need to learn some sales strategies, be they funnels or be they one-to-one. They realize they need to learn traffic strategies, be they organic or be they paid, right? They realize there's not just this magic computer machine thing that makes money. And so your content does that. It breaks down those limiting or those false beliefs. And what you're going to do is part of your audience is slowly going to come around to your way of thinking, and then they'll be your people that become your buyers when they're on a similar wavelength to you. And then the last one we spoke about was objections. So what are some of the reasons people may not buy your stuff? Price, time, they don't understand it. It keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on, right? There's these always objections. People are always going to have reasons to not buy based on previous experiences, based on all these other things. And then above and beyond all of that, a type of, it can either be its own type of content or you can weave it into the other types of content, is integrating your stories. Integrating stories from the things that you've done. You guys will hear me talk about times from my consulting career, from my online career, from the travels that I've been able to do through this business, all of these kind of things. Integrating the stories to get a point across is a really, really powerful way to do it. So you can either have a piece of content that's a story in itself, or you can use stories to get those other types of content across, to share a lesson, to share a result, to break down a false belief or a limiting belief, to overcome an objection, right? I once met this person and they were interested in my program and they had this objection that they didn't have enough time. So I was sharing with them how I got started when I was working online and I was doing 80 hours a week, and I gave them strategies. So I'm sharing a story in order to overcome that time objection. You see how that kind of works? And that's more interesting for people sometimes than you just telling them, no, you do have time, right? Telling them a story about a prospect who overcame a lack of time and still made it happen. So there's some ideas to fuel your content. What I like to do from a practical perspective is I'll write down those things, right? So those different pillars and the different buckets of content. And as I said, I'll grab a cup of tea and I'll sit down and I'll just start brain dumping. And I'll do this every couple of weeks. I'll just brain dump ideas that fit under each of those, and then I'll start rotating through them, right? So I knew I wanted to do a video on this topic because I know that people struggle with content ideas and that holds them back from starting a personal brand. So this video is me helping you overcome the concept that content's really not that hard to come up with when you get on a roll and when you understand how to do it. So I've got a Google Doc that I opened up before I started filming this, and one of them was, I don't know how to produce content. I don't know what content to make. So here's me producing content to help you guys out. That's how it kind of works. And I've got those lists ready to go. I'm just on my phone at the moment. I can grab this video, I can grab my phone, and I can just start filming. It's about lowering the resistance, making it easy as possible to produce content so that you can be consistent with it, because that's going to build up the momentum, which is going to start to generate your leads, which is going to start to generate your sales, assuming you've got that back-end sales system. Sorry guys, it's getting a bit wobbly here, 1 second. Assuming we've got that sales system in place, right? So hopefully you found that one helpful. Be sure to check out the Super Affiliate Accelerator if you want to dive in and get into the high ticket affiliate marketing world, where you're getting paid, $500, $1,000 per sale. Or you can plug into the system that I've built where my team can close sales for you. We can do that over the phone and we'll pay you a really good commission to that. But the link's in the description. You can check out the info down there and decide if that's a good fit for you. But aside from all that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like if you got any value. I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.